evening, everyone. Distinguished faculty, proud families, dear friends, and my fellow graduates. It is truly an honor to be here today as we find ourselves at this meaningful turning points of our lives. We gather here not just to receive our degrees, but to celebrate the years of hard work, determination, and growth that brought us to this moment. We gather here not just to mark the end of a journey, but to recognize the beginning of another. A journey that each one of us has chosen, not out of convenience, but out of conviction. It feels surreal to be standing here and looking back at what has probably been one of the most intense, challenging, and fulfilling periods of our lives. I feel a wave of gratitude, disbelief, and reflection, trying to process this reality that this chapter has almost come to an end. But this chapter had its fair share of sleepless nights. Some of these nights were spent dancing at the end of semester parties, and some sitting with friends trying to solve that one assignment which almost felt impossible to finish before the deadline. I remember studying from lecture notes right until I was at the doorstep of the examination hall. All the coffees that we drank with the hope that it would help manage the stress of the upcoming task. I haven't found a coffee strong enough yet, but the search continues. Some of us were writing our theses, which kept on evolving until the very last moment. And yet, we kept going, somehow together. And in the middle of all this intensity and stress, something beautiful happened. Friends became families. The people that we stressed with, studied with, laughed with, and cried with, they became our support system, our chosen people, and our cheerleaders. We helped each other overcome homesickness, culture shocks, and the cold German winters. And in doing so, we created a global community that I'm very sure most of us will take with us long after today. Of course, we come from different countries, cultures, backgrounds, and programs, and yet we all share a common thread that we chose to study here at the University of Hohenheim. And I truly believe that a very big part of this decision is because we care about the future of our planet, our communities, and our food systems. We care about fairness and sustainability and about creating solutions where so many others see just problems. And this concern made us engage with some of the most urgent challenges of our time. Over the past few years, we've spent countless hours in classrooms, libraries, greenhouses, and labs. We've debated policies, questioned assumptions, and wrestled with complex trade-offs. We've studied ecosystems and climate science, biodiversity and food sovereignty, soil health and circular economies. We've had our moments of clarity, confusion, and maybe even crisis, often before breakfast. But beyond the coursework and the research, I have come to realize a deeper truth that I believe most of you would have felt too. That protecting the environment is not just about saving nature. It is about justice. It is about ensuring that the most vulnerable, our smallholder farmers, marginal farmers, indigenous communities, and rural populations are not left behind in the name of profit or progress. It is about rethinking development, about listening more than we speak, and remembering that the health of the land and the dignity of people are not two separate struggles, they are one and the same in the end. The most effective solutions often come from people closest to the land, but these are usually the ones with the least say in the decision-making progress. To reduce this disparity is what keeps me motivated to be on this path of building bridges between science, policy, and the everyday experiences of the people who actually live with these struggles. As I look out at all of you, I am filled with hope because this room holds not just graduates but change makers, not just students but stewards of the future. We have the privilege and the responsibility to reimagine how food is grown, how resources are shared, and how voices are heard. We have the chance to build systems that regenerate soil, restore dignity, and center justice. For me personally, this belief that true transformation begins at the grassroots is something that I've been lucky to learn from the people that I've grown up around and who've shaped me. So before I move any further, I would like to take a personal moment here to say a deeply personal thank you to my mom, my dad, and my sisters who will watch it later through the video. Thank you for supporting me throughout this journey and every other that I've dared to dream of, for encouraging me to face challenges head on, and for believing in me even when I myself sometimes did not. This moment is as much yours as it is mine. To all the professors and mentors, Thank you for challenging us and guiding us, for pushing us to think not just harder but deeper. To my friends, the ones who've grown up with and the ones that I made here as an adult, thank you for your solidarity, your friendship, and your kindness. You taught me that true learning happens not just in classrooms but in connection. And I would like to say a special thank you to our coordinator, Catherine, here. I think I can say that your support and guidance has meant the world to us. In a new country with new people, new system, new language, and new everything. Thank you for being our anchor here. As we stand at the edge of this stage, it is impossible to not look at the kind of world we are stepping into. Yes, we are entering a world in crisis. Climate breakdown, food insecurity, wars and displacement to name a few. But we are also stepping into it with something powerful, the right tools, knowledge, empathy and perspective. So, as we leave this beautiful campus that we called home for the past few years, let us all take a pledge to not be passive witnesses in the world's struggle. Let us be bold in our compassion, courageous in our curiosity, and unrelenting in our hope. Thank you and congratulations, class. This is just a beginning of the